Part B, let's look at data elements collected at start date. Here on the sample data report, you first see that there are two ID columns. And so if you are a school or ESD, you are required to complete the first ID column with the ODE Secure Student Identifier Code. If you are an entity which does not have access to the ODE SSID number, then you're required to provide a youth ID number here. And the youth ID number can be a randomly assigned grantee generated ID number made up of letters and or numbers. Okay, in the next columns, you see these are for names in the order of last name, first name, and middle name. If you don't have the full middle name, please provide a middle initial. Next, we have three date columns. And so first we have the date of birth. And so you'll enter the participant's birth date. And remember, the participants must be between 14 years and 24 years to participate in re-engagement. And also additionally note that any participant eligible under Eligibility Code D must be at least 16 years of age when they begin the grant-funded services. Okay, next to that we have start date, and this is the date that the participant began in grant services. Next to that we have the end date, and as I indicated before, if there's no information in end date, that means that the youth is active in programming. Okay, so now let's move on to the eligibility fields. First, we have the eligibility code, and each youth enrolled in the YDD funded re-engagement program must meet at least one of the four eligibility criteria A through D, as is defined in the Oregon Administrative Rules and further described with examples and illustrations in the data manual. So please be sure to carefully read Part 2, the eligibility guidelines, in your re-engagement data manual. So organizations need to verify participant eligibility for programming and then provide an eligibility code on the participants row in the data report. In the column right next to that, it's related to their eligibility. It's asking if, when the youth is enrolling in re-engagement programming, if they're enrolled in high school. And so a yes indicates that a high school aged youth is enrolled in high school and is attending education for high school completion on their start date. And a no indicates that the youth or the participant is not enrolled in and is not attending high school on their start date. So the participant may have been enrolled and was withdrawn after 10 or more days of not attending. The participant may have never enrolled in high school in Oregon, or they may be beyond high school ages. Okay. Next to that, we have the time out of high school at start date. And so for a youth who is not enrolled in high school at the start date, then you will select how long they have been away from school. And so it's related to the eligibility codes because criterion A and B specify that the individual is not enrolled in high school at start date, and so then you're going to have a time out of school. And criterion D specifies that they are enrolled specifically in high school, in which case you will select not applicable. And this is the case where that conditional formatting will come into play. If there's some kind of error or something that doesn't make sense, then the conditional formatting will kick in, and you can read the manual, make sure that you're understanding the eligibility criterion there. And so when right next to that is also related to eligibility is the recommending agency. And so here, the OARs, the Oregon Administrative Rules for Reengagement, specify a limited list of system partners that can, with your partnership with them, directly recommend a participant into reengagement programming. And so in this case, you can list a reengagement partner with any criteria A, B, C, or D. Um, to note, the criterion C it is built in that it's specifically required that you list a partner, and so the conditional formatting is going to help remind you of that. If there is no partner, then you will select not applicable as relevant there. Okay, so if we move on to some educational fields, we have here, please enter the name of the school or the program that the youth attended before, so that they last attended before beginning in the re-engagement program. Next to that is the total number of credits that they earned for total number of high school credits that they have earned. And so that is on their start date. So that's before they enter the re-engagement program. Next to that, you can recall that the green is really at achievement or at placement. So when you do bring the youth back into attending high school completion education services, then you'll go in here and select what type of school or type of program is the participant engaged in. And related to that, we want to know if the instruction is being delivered 50% or more of the time in an online or virtual format. So in the online class schedule, a yes indicates an online or virtual format, and a no indicates that the instruction is being delivered in person. And just to back up a little bit, for some, the educational service types are defined in the data manual, and then if you need a list of specific schools, please do reach out and I can get you some of the classifications, some of the school names there, which might be helpful. Okay, so moving on, we've got demographic and other youth characteristic fields for you to gather when the youth starts the program. Note here under reasons for disengaging from K-12 education, these are select all that apply. They're youth self-identified reasons. Similarly, for reasons for entering, the question is asking, why are they engaging with the re-engagement program? Why are they coming back to education and working with you? Please note that selecting the same answer for all youth in your program does not meet the data reporting requirement here, as these are youth self-identified reasons there. Just to kind of highlight the housing instability, this one is asking if in any time in the last 6 months the youth has experienced housing instability. And just to finish out this section, where it asks if the GED is a primary credential sought, a yes indicates that the youth is seeking a GED for high school completion, and a no indicates that the youth is seeking a high school diploma. So this concludes Part B. Please continue to Part C. Thank you.